Hello everyone, it's been a while since I posted something on this channel. In this video I'm gonna talk about how I got a Finnish citizenship in 2024 and how I learned Finnish to pass the YKI exam. There are a lot of ways to get Finnish citizenship. For example, if you have a family living in Finland, if you have a husband Finn or a wife, but this is not my thing and this is not my story. In this video I'm going to talk about my personal experience, how I got Finnish citizenship, and it's because I studied and worked in Finland for 6 years. It's been a while since I posted something on this channel, actually 10 months, but finally it's the video about this beauty that you can see on the screen. So to get Finnish citizenship you need to follow six requirements, just 6 requirements, and I needed 6 years to complete all of them. So the first one is of course that you have the passport of another country and this is valid, and you're over 18 years old. Again, I'm not talking about the ways when people get their citizenship because their family is in Finland. Then of course you don't need to have 18 years old to get the citizenship if your mother is Finnish, of course. The second and one of the most important requirements is that you need to learn Finnish or Swedish at satisfactory level, which is B1. So you need to learn either Finnish or Swedish to get YKI certificate at B1 level, and of course I did it. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later because for me that was the most difficult thing in applying for the Finnish citizenship, is actually to pass YKI exam and to learn Finnish. Of course for everyone I think that's a hard thing. Finnish is not the easiest language to learn, but we're gonna talk about that later. The third requirement is that you have lived here long enough, which means 5 years without interruption. You need to have all of your residence permits without interruption for 5 years. That was of course also difficult because you have residence permit usually on the basis of either studies or work. Meaning that if you have a contract for 1 year, then your residence permit is for 1 year. So when it's ending, it's time to renew it with a new contract. And for example, if you're fired or if you don't have a new contract, that's a hard thing. So all these years I was such in a rush to get always contracts because really basically my life depended on the contracts of my work, and I couldn't stay in Finland without work. So that was the most important thing for me, of course. The fourth one is of course that you didn't have any crime in Finland, and of course you don't have any orders or you haven't been in jail, obviously. The fifth one is that you paid all your taxes, well, that you have met all your payment obligations, basically meaning that you are following the rules and paying all the taxes. And the sixth one, the last one, is also quite tricky one, that you have means of support. Everyone has their own means of support. Some people don't work, they have family and all other things. But in my case, of course, it was work. So I needed to present like a pay slip from a bank that the company is paying me a salary. So I needed to prove that I have some financial support to stay in Finland and to live here. So of course the best thing for you is to have the permanent contract in a company so that you can stay in Finland, work, and then of course you have all the means of support and you have financial stability, and then there are no questions to you when you are applying to citizenship. I will not tell everything in details because, well, it's gonna be a long video then. I will tell shortly about my path. So first, in 2018 I started my studies in Lappeenranta in Lab University of Applied Sciences, or Lab Ammattikorkeakoulu. So I studied there for 3 years instead of 3.5. Like I really wanted to graduate as soon as possible because by that time I already had work, my first work in Finland. Actually, my first work in Europe, because I'm not from Europe. My first work was in Italy. I was working as an animator, as a person who works with kids in hotels. That was quite fun experience and actually the best summer in my life still. It was in 2019, but it's still the best summer. That was the first job. I cannot call it a job because It was a mandatory practice from the university that we had. So everyone was working at summer somewhere. Then I got a job in small marketing agency, let's call it even startup, because we were just 4 people, and that was my first marketing job in Finland. I really loved that job because I had a great boss, I had a great colleagues, and I found it through the university. And if you want to learn more how to find a job in Finland, you can watch my video separately. So I'm not gonna go through details how I studied, how was my studies in Finland, because for me that's not interesting anymore because I'm not a student. Just one interesting fact about my studies is that I graduated online because it was a COVID time. So I got my physical diploma by post. Such a great memory to have graduation in Zoom. But that was it. I studied for 3 years and then I continued working as a marketing specialist in the small marketing startup. And the job that I was doing is creating content for some small shops in Lappeenranta, creating marketing plans, marketing strategies, and doing basically all kind of marketing. And that was really the best experience for the first job abroad for me. I was so happy that I was working there more than 2 years, I think. Then I think some of you know that I was working in a Finnish startup that didn't have such a great reputation. But yeah, I was working there for less than half a year, I think. Practically during all my stay in Finland, I was also kind of not working, but was a micro-influencer, was creating some content here and there in YouTube or on Instagram. So I was, of course, making it at least some small financial support for me because the salary was not enough. Then, after some pause, I found the best job that I ever had in my life. That was a job in stable, big Finnish company, I can say even corporation. And that was really the best experience for me. I had the best colleagues, I had the best boss, and that was really a lovely experience for me because I learned a lot of new things. I entered such a small girl who was still after her first jobs in Finland, but I came out as quite a good specialist in marketing, quite a good content creator. I achieved a lot of things. So I'm really thankful for the experience that I got there in this company. You can watch separately my video about that, what I was doing at that work. So the link is somewhere here. I will not talk about that in details, but the thing is that I'm really thankful for that experience that I had. It's still the best job that I ever had, and I don't know if something will ever overcome it. Now, the most interesting and difficult part for me was UKI exam. Surprise, surprise, I was working all the time in different companies in English. I was studying also in English, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Because in Finland, according to my experience, practically everyone is speaking English, which I was so surprised that even like some old people, like my grandmother, would never speak English or any other languages. But here, every person is speaking English, and for me that was of course good because then I can basically talk with anyone on the streets. But the bad thing is that I was not developing my Finnish in that way because I always switched to English. So learning Finnish was of course a hard thing to do because you need a huge motivation to do that. I always was starting and never proceeding with the process of learning Finnish. I always switched to English and that was super bad, but still I moved to Helsinki and I decided like now it's time to prepare for UKI and pass that exam finally, prepare for it and learn Finnish like in a really serious way. And so I found a teacher. She is teaching Finnish more than 10 years. And I told her like, hey, I want to pass UKI in 3 months. And she was like, you serious? Are you crazy? Like, how can you prepare for UKI exam in 3 months? But I said, we should do it. Anyway, I have the goal. So I put the goal for myself to pass it in May. And I came to her in the end of February. So I had March, April, May to prepare. and in the end of May you pass it. And I was so stressed, but I did it, and I really like that I did it in 3 months, the preparation for UKI exam. That was only thanks to the system of preparation that we had with my teacher. And that's why I'm really happy to announce that we have opened an online Finnish language school, and its name is KOKO SUOMI. We have opened it together with Anastasia, which is my partner, and she is a teacher of Finnish language, and she is teaching that more than 10 years and has dozens of students that passed UKI successfully and applied to Finnish citizenship. So we were preparing a course for the UKI exam for almost a year. So we started last November, and now in the end of September we are finally launching it in English, and we are super happy because we already have our first students who are studying based on our materials, and they are super happy and they really like it. And we also have already students who passed the UKI, and they were so confident on the exam that they will pass it. And that's the best thing to hear when our students are writing to us. So KOKO SUOMI is an online Finnish language school, and our first product is UKI Mestari, which is a course to prepare for UKI exam. We have a huge workbook in PDF which has more than 240 pages of texts, examples, questions from the exams with answers. So we have a lot of text, we have a lot of essays, we have examples of formal and informal letters in Finnish. We can teach you how to start any monologue in speaking part. We can teach you how to write essay on practically any topic. So just follow the link in the description below and learn more about KOKO SUOMI and about the course UKI Mestari. I'm really proud of that product that we created. I was just doing my best for almost 1 year to create that school with the best teacher that I ever had, and all my friends in Helsinki, they were studying with Nastya or Anastasia, as you want, and everyone passed UKI exam and everyone got Finnish citizenship. So that is the most exciting thing, that the system that we created is so good to prepare that you just don't need any other, really. Because the UKI exam is something so specific. You need to have a clear structure in your head, how the tasks look like, what the task can be about, what are the questions, what are the essays, so you need to know it. And in our workbook, you can find all essays, you can find all kind of letters, you can find all kind of questions, vocabulary. We also have a voiceover by Finnish native speaker, which is actually a really good thing, so that you can listen and remember the better Finnish accent, the most correct Finnish accent. Then we have Quizlet flashcards to each chapter of the workbook, which means that you can remember vocabulary better. Open your phone and just revise the flashcards that you can see in Quizlet application, of course. So we have a lot of materials in different format, and you can go to our website and check it more in the details. And for my subscribers, we decided to make a special demo version of the workbook. So if you want to know how our workbook looks like, you can go to the link in the description below and find the demo version of the workbook. There you have an essay, you have vocabulary, questions, an example of formal or informal letter. You can get a free few pages of our workbook. So as soon as I got the B1 level on UKI exam, at the same day, because I remember that day so bright, I was so happy to receive that certificate. At the same day I applied, of course, for Finnish citizenship, because I need to attach that certificate to Enter Finland website where you apply for it. Of course, I paid a fee. It was about 500 euros, but the application is quite difficult to fill. I think I spent 3 hours to fill that application because there you need to mention all the trips that you had abroad. Abroad means abroad from Finland, even if it's inside the European Union. You need to put all the dates and the reason why you left Finland. And of course, during 6 years, I had a lot of trips outside of Finland. So I was just looking at my passport, looking at my stamps, and just filling that application for 3 hours. And after you have filled the application, you can forget about it, because it takes from 1 to 2 years to get response, to get the actual decision on your citizenship. Some people get decision after half a year of waiting. Some people have decision after 1 year, some after 1.5. And I had my friends who waited 2 years. So you never know. So I applied in July, but I remember that day, that 1st of December, I got notification that your application has moved to the in progress stage, which means I'm on the second stage. What I know is that usually people who are in progress stage, it takes like 30 to 40 minutes to be on that stage, and then after 40 minutes you got the decision. But in my case, the second stage was 3 months. I was waiting every day that finally today they need to check all my information and approve it, because they didn't have any questions to me. They didn't send any requests for additional information, for additional documents, no. So they never contacted me, but still my stage in progress was 3 months, which is super extraordinary, because I was of course chatting with everyone who is also applying to Finnish citizenship or who already got it, and never ever anyone told me that their in progress stage was 3 months. Usually for them it was either 30 minutes or 1 hour, or someone even didn't have in progress stage. I was super nervous that something is not correct. 25th of February is my birthday. So when I was blowing the candles, I of course make a wish to get the Finnish citizenship, of course, because I was waiting for it already 8 months. So I blow out the candles in the evening of 25th, and 26th of February, the next morning at 8 of the morning, I got an SMS like, your decision is ready. And I was so happy because I was waiting for that day a lot. So imagine, a few hours ago, I just made a wish to get the Finnish citizenship, and on 26th, just in the morning, just at 8 o'clock, I received an SMS with a decision. That was a surprise, of course, for me, and the best birthday present that I can ever imagine. Then, as soon as you receive the positive decision on your citizenship, you need to go to police and actually make an application for the actual physical passport. I remember that I paid 88 euros. That is my favorite number, by the way. That's why I have the Instagram name Masha88. After that, I think I waited 2 or 3 days, and I actually got my physical passport in KOKO market, which is super unusual way to get the best present you could ever imagine in your life. Just go to the supermarket and pick up your parcel from there, because police usually delivers the passport and the documents either to kioski or to KOKO market. And that was in the beginning of March, and I was extremely happy when I got it. And of course I made a celebration just by myself to remember that day and to celebrate it. That is the story how I got my Finnish citizenship. Of course, that's 6 years of hard work, that's 6 years of new people, new language, new friends. I don't know, 5 or 6 apartments that I changed during that time. I guess 6 or 7 even. I have grown a lot as a person during these 6 years, but I'm super happy and thankful for that experience. Of course, I really love Finland as country. I love it because I feel it like my home. By the way, I don't feel my home country as a home, really, because my main years of me growing as a person has happened in Finland. That's why I feel that country as my home. I love that country, and I'm super grateful and thankful that I got the citizenship of Finland. And that's my story, and thank you very much for watching it. I hope it was useful for you, and I will be super thankful if you can go to our website or just check our Instagram of KOKO SUOMI, because this is the school that I'm really proud of to open, and I want everyone to help with UKI exam. So thank you very much for watching. Please follow the link in the description below, and bye!